Hello, everybody. How is it going? Welcome back to the virtual tour. I believe this is night 16. Can you believe it? 16 whole nights.
16.
On the virtual tour throughout the world.
2 touchdowns and 2 extra point conversions.
I think you mean 2-point conversions there, Swain.
Yes.
Yes. We are here today at the beautiful Bahá'í temple in Wilmette, Illinois. We're waiting for Dave. Dave is
I'll pop in here.
upstairs, I think.
I'll slide over.
He's running late.
I'm right next to you. I'm
perfect.
looking right at you.
Hey. Sweet. But yeah, anyway, so thanks for joining back in on our Sunday matinee. Season 3 finale, I think.
Yes. Yeah.
I think it's been season 3 this whole time.
Huge season finale planned.
Huge. We got lots of crazy stuff
confetti.
coming up. Boom.
We got Dobby.
We got Dobby. Dobby's back. Yeah, we're gonna play a few songs. We're gonna do a couple segments, and then we're gonna tell you guys about some stuff that we've been working on and thinking about for the future, for like the coming weeks and stuff. Just trying to think of ways that we can connect and kind of use this platform, the whole Twitcherverse that we're new to, and really stretch it and I don't know, make some cool stuff. So.
Yeah.
Anyway, but first, I want to talk about where we are. So Dave pointed out yesterday that we've kind of had a trend or a pattern of doing Chicago locations on Sundays. And I really like that because, I don't know, Chicago's not, I mean, it's a big fucking city, but it's also, the area is expansive. There's so much. And so I was thinking also, so today's Mother's Day, and we're going to talk about that and talk about our moms for a second in a bit. But when I was thinking of places that we could play today, I was kind of thinking about my mom, and I was thinking about places that have been important in her life, and the Bahá'í temple came to mind. So this beautiful temple is in Wilmette, Illinois, about 30 minutes north of here, near Evanston. So my mom... Sounds like footfalls above us. Perhaps he is near.
Some loud crashing noises in our house above us.
Okay, so anyway, so my mom, who I'll show you a picture in a minute, she went to Northwestern University for college, which is right by this temple, and she was a singer. Well, she still is a singer. And on the weekends, on Friday nights, she would sing at the Bahá'í temple.
Wow.
For $20.
That's crazy.
They'd
I didn't
slip
know
her a
that.
$20 bill. It was her and 2 other women, and they sang all a cappella, and it was all, so no instruments.
Dang.
And it was all in a foreign language, I think Arabic, maybe Farsi, but they would write out the lyrics like phonetically so that they would just practice it on the spot and then do it. So.
Wow.
It was tough because you had to like learn the music immediately and the language. And so anyway, she did that every Friday night during college, and just has lots of memories. This building is huge.
It looks huge.
It's huge. If you ever have the chance to come to Chicago, I would recommend making the trip up there. It's not that far. It's like, it's northern suburb.
Yeah, I've lived here my whole life. I didn't know this existed until it was behind you.
It's
I didn't
really
know it was
cool.
in the Chicagoland area.
It's really close to the Home Alone house.
Okay.
I know people, which is also in Wilmette. I know a
Yeah.
lot of people go up to Wilmette to see the Home Alone house. Our friend Neil, who plays in the band Phony, formerly of Donovan Wolfington, lived in Chicago for about a year, and he moved to Boston last August. And before he left, he was like, I got to see the Home Alone house. And so we went up to Wilmette, me, Dave, and Neil, saw the Home Alone house. And then I was like, guys, while we're here, we should like pop over and see this because it's so cool. And we did, and it was really fun. But anyways, just some interesting tidbits, if you guys don't mind, because I think this is a fascinating place. So, the man is here with his young boy. Okay, good. We got some surprises in store for you today. You're never going to guess what's coming. So, okay, I'm not going to go on too long about this, but I think it's interesting. So, this building was constructed over the course of 40 years, 1912 to 1953. It's kind of, and it was funded by small donations over the course of that 40 years. They didn't just, like, have the money and build it immediately. It's kind of like in Animal Crossing how you want to build a bridge and you just let your villagers donate over time, and it takes years. That's kind of yeah, but it takes them a long time to donate. And hey, do you want to say hi?
Hello, everybody. Happy Mother's Day.
Yeah, Dave is here. Okay, so one thing that's cool is something cool about the Bahá'í faith is that it's a religion that basically it tries to unite all world religions and all people. So its essential teaching is that each religion around the world has inherent worth. And so rather than using the temple as a gathering place for like Bahá'í ceremonies, it's intended to be used by anyone of any religion to come and gather and celebrate their religion in the temple. One last thing that my mom told me when we were talking this morning on the phone is...
you called her already? I have to call her too.
She's around. But she's doing great. But she told me that when she used to sing there, they told her that, I don't know if this is true, I couldn't find this online to back it up, but I love this idea, that there's a Bahá'í temple, there's 8 in the world, I think. 1 on each continent. Although now I'm thinking about this, I don't think there's 1 in Antarctica, but there's 8.
There might be.
Maybe there is. Maybe, I don't know. Should have looked that up.
There might be a chapel.
Maybe. But the idea is that the Wilmette Bahá'í Temple is located on the earth so that if you dug straight through the earth, like a straight line down through the sphere of the globe, that you would hit the other Bahá'í Temple in Asia, in I think it's Turkmenistan or wherever. It's somewhere in Asia. But it's like a direct straight line across the globe. Dig through the earth.
I got news for you though.
What?
Earth is not a sphere. It's not a perfect sphere.
It's
an oblong.
Wow.
Teach us, what is the Earth, Dave?
It's a complex shape. It's not a sphere.
Okay.
Non-calculable.
Really?
Yes.
When did you discover this?
Today.
Okay. We are learning things. No, Dave woke up and had a revelation. The Earth, it's not flat.
I dreamt about Nostradamus. I dreamt about Copernicus. They were playing chess, and they dropped a knowledge bomb on me. No, I was actually just watching Steely Dan videos on the drive back home.
Love it.
Watching?
Yeah, how are you? You were watching?
Dave.
It was plugged in, and it was, like...
Don't admit to any of this, please.
There's nothing.
Okay, so very quickly, want to wish a happy Mother's Day to everyone out there, everyone who has a mom, who is a mom.
Including Dobby. Dobby's got a mom.
Dobby has a mom. We don't know who she is, but...
Miss Dobby.
The idea of house elf lineage in Harry Potter is murky at best. Because it's mentioned.
Where do they come
It's implied. Because at Grimmauld Place, there's like the heads of house elves from generations past that served Sirius Black's family. So it's like, are house elves reproduce? These are things we don't need to be thinking about. But of course, something I do think about. Lay awake at night. Okay, so want to say Happy Mother's Day. I gathered a few pictures of us with our moms. Do we dare reveal? I think they're really cute.
This is like a yearbook photo.
This is a yearbook photo.
Are you going one by one?
Yeah. Maybe people in the chat can guess who's who.
They're going to have us in them, right?
I guess actually only one of them is a guessing game. This is going to be great. All right, guys. Guess who it is. You're gonna really find it hard to guess here.
3,
2,
1.
Oh!
It might. Which
Mark?
Ratboy's mother is this? Pictured next to drummer Marcus Nuccio.
Yes. I'm thinking it's gotta be
Marcus.
Marcus's mom. There she is. Ugh. I've only met Marcus's mom a couple times.
Yeah.
She seems like a very nice woman. And I was looking at her Instagram, and she likes horses. She loves horses.
Wow.
Marcus, if you're in the chat, please confirm. If not, I assume you're talking to your mom.
Yeah. Where is Marcus in the chat?
Ugh.
Has anyone seen
He's
Marcus in the
He's
chat?
busy chatting to his mom on the dock. Okay, let's do another.
Okay.
Let's guess.
3, 2, 1.
Oh,
Who could this be? Picture
is
next to
it?
Dave Sagan.
to a very young, short-haired Dave.
It's been a long time.
Wow.
Yep, it's true, folks. That's Dave's lovely
Wow.
Polish mother wearing one of our first shirts ever.
Yes, the
She's a-
GG.
Yeah, she's the best. She's an incredible cook, a very kind person.
She teaches me a lot.
She teaches
Wow.
us a lot every day. So thank you, Mrs. Sagan. Okay, next one.
1 second. All right. 3, 2, 1. Oh!
God, guess who it is?
Who's that beautiful lady?
I'm gonna go out on a limb. That
Who's
looks like
that beautiful, handsome young man?
that looks like a baby screen bean to me.
Oh.
A little baby screen bean riding the L train. Damn.
Oh, is that on the L?
Yeah, it's on the L, I think. That looks like Sean and his mom
No,
riding
this is in Vancouver, I think.
riding the public transit to get to the downtown metro area.
There we go. We just
That's
support public transit.
Oops.
Wow.
Sean's
And
The
mom
buses
is
are
amazing.
running.
Tell us about your mom, Sean.
my mom is a nurse. She has saved, she's birthed probably, I've thought about this, probably thousands of lives into the world. That's an amazing accomplishment on its own. And then she's also saved people's lives too. Like, she took a vacation once. Like, she rarely gets to have a vacation. Just talked about this with her this morning while calling her to wish her happy Mother's Day. Everyone do that right now. And she went on a vacation and was on a beach just relaxing, you know, rare time off. And someone had a heart attack and she saved him. It's crazy.
That's so
She's
sick.
like a living saint. It's wild.
Yeah. Your mom is like quite possibly the nicest person I've ever met.
Wow. Hopefully she's watching.
I hope she's watching. I snuck a Kevin Devine song into the house music up front for her.
Wow.
I love that she loves Kevin Devine.
Yeah, that's her favorite.
She is in
Cool
it.
mom.
She's cool. Yeah. Ugh. So, and thank you for all the candy. She gives us candy. She lets us dog sit Arlo.
Yeah.
I feel like your
Arlo. We
parents
didn't get a
plan
cutout of Arlo.
vacations so that we can spend time with Arlo. Maybe not.
Maybe. One last pick.
One
Who
last
could
pick.
it be?
Oh, right.
3, 2.
Who could it
One.
be?
Oh! That peaked so bad.
It's,
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it was me.
it's my mom.
Wow.
Here she is. Lisa. Mom, if you're watching this after the fact, I know you don't like to watch live, but on YouTube in the future. Hello. My mom's awesome. She's a really great person.
Tell us
She's
about
the
your
reason
mom.
I'm able to sing.
Wow.
She's a very good singer, a great musician, and
I get it from my mama.
somehow, like, resolutely optimistic. It's actually hard to believe sometimes. Like, she's incredibly inspiring because she's able to kind of find the silver lining in any situation, and that's hard to do sometimes.
Yeah,
So
so
she's
it's a
really
skill.
hardworking and really smart, and a great mom. So thank you, Mom.
This is
for
such a
birthing
nice
me.
picture, too, of you, your mom, and your sibling, Dobby.
Oh yes, a selfie we took in Portland, Oregon. One thing I will say about my mom, the one flaw she has, she's pretty bad at taking pictures on her phone. Like,
me.
kind of like Dave. Like, they are both comically bad. Like, they'll take a picture, take like 30 seconds to take something.
Wow.
They only take one picture, and you look at it, and it's blurry.
Just
Just dragging my
attacking your
mom.
mom on Mother's Day.
It's the one thing that she could get better at. The one thing.
And publicly, too.
Yeah, that's okay. What I'm trying to say is to have one flaw, that's a pretty minimal flaw.
It's pretty good.
But I'm also saying that because that's like the only picture that wasn't blurry of us on my phone. But I need to take some. Next time we're together, we'll take some selfies. Okay, I think we're going to play some songs now.
Yeah.
We've also been doing something on Sundays where we do old favorites. So like covers that we know that
All
we
covers?
haven't played in a while. Yeah,
I have a lot of favorites.
I picked 3 today that I thought we could play. So we'll do them now for you. And this video will probably get flagged. And hopefully God will not appear to smite us down. Okay. The first song we're going to play is truly a fave. It's not that old of a fave because it came out like 3 years ago. But it's damn good.
What key is this one in again? I've only played this a couple of times.
G.
There's a video of us playing this song on the internet.
Yeah, we played this song for our friend's little like YouTube cover series, and it was in a men's bathroom. So there's a urinal in the background. True rock. So yeah, this song is called "The Glow" by Sylvanesso. Awesome record, awesome band, one of our favorites.
Maybe I'll just.
The pocket piano is crucial for this song.
I
dude.
know. I think I'm just gonna do that.
Yeah, that's the move for sure.
Oh yeah.
Here, I can hold it.
Nah.
You got it?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you remember the intro? It's weird. I think I just played the intro. I just played the intro by myself.
Okay.
All right, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Willie's so tall, and Abby's so fair, and Dina's so beautiful, pretending not to care. And I remember the glow. Yeah, I remember the glow. In my headphones, after school and slightly stoned. Meg's so snide, and Allie's so loud, and Mike is so dreamy, shaking in the crowd. And I remember the walking back from the show with my heart in echo, so alone in the snow, and Phil was singing just to me wasn't from a phone, and I knew I was alone. Thank you.
That was
Such a
pretty,
good
accurate.
record. It was pretty good. Something
That was a
like
great
that.
record.
Such a good.
Dobby did some great dancing.
Dobby was dancing.
Yeah, huge thanks to the chat for fueling him with emojis.
Please fuel Dobby. Let Dobby do his dance for us, please. Please. Radical. This
Radical,
next
that
one
was
is.
an answer on Jeopardy.
Oh my God, you guys. Have people been watching Jeopardy on Netflix?
I think we're far behind everyone else.
It is a
Wow.
revelation. Jeopardy with
It's
no
great.
commercials.
Yes.
Yeah.
Holy fuck. So
Not even the Advil one.
we are on Aleve, Dave.
Oh,
Get it
sorry.
So Cindy, the current Jeopardy champion in our queue, is insane.
Very, very timid person.
Extremely quiet. And she kind of looks like a bug. And she's behind the whole game and then sneaks in.
It's crazy.
Oh my god.
She's like definitely the biggest underdog I've ever seen on the show.
But she's like, she whispers.
She's really good.
She whispers every answer.
Oh yeah, she's
And
like,
her eyes are all buggy. She is amazing.
I love when she gets an answer. She's like, what is duct tape? And it's like, correct. And then like she says the next category like, oh, no, I'll take that for fun. She like gets a question right and then goes like, so quiet.
At the end of the episode, when she inevitably comes back from behind, out of nowhere, she just always looks down and shakes her head in disbelief. And I'm like, Cindy, you know what you're doing. You know how good you are. Anyways, I'm excited to watch more Cindy. Okay, so the next song that we're going to play is truly an old fave. We played a legendary show with our friend PK at Pompeii Italian Restaurant. It was like our first paid gig, I feel like, ever. They were like, we'll pay you $150 to come play for 3 hours. And we were like, fuck yeah. And so we just played every song we knew, pretty much. And we played this song. So, do you remember? So this song is called Spill Your Lungs by Julie Doiron. She is the best. This album is called I Can Wonder What You Did With Your Day. It is one of my favorite records of all time. She is from Nova Scotia, the land of Screen's ancestors.
Really? Oh yeah.
Yes, and this song is amazing. Make sure I got the lyrics so I don't want to mess any of them up. Okay. Ready to riff? To do that rock riff? Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. that one. Thank you.
Listen to the YouTube video. What's that session?
It's called The Schoolhouse.
Schoolhouse session.
Please watch that video on YouTube.
Julie
It is
Doiron.
seriously one of my favorites. Julie Doiron, Doiron, live at the Elder Schoolhouse, parts 1 and 2. It's like a green kind of tinge to the light. Amazing. Some of the best like live session sound on the internet, in my opinion. Okay, we're gonna do one more song and then a couple segments, and yeah, that's the shit. So we're gonna do another song.
Old one?
Yeah, by the band Easter from Champaign / South Suburbs. Sean used to be in this band in college. Back in the good old days, am I right? There he is, that guy.
That guy.
He was in this band. We covered this song.
You're in an iteration of this band now. It's had so many members.
Well, the logical progression of
Yes.
So, Kyle Lang, who's the songwriter, he gets a bunch of his friends to play alongside him. And I get to do it sometimes, and he is one of my favorite songwriters of all time. Anyways, we covered this song when we were starting college, around the same time, right when you put it out. And,
Someone incorrectly cited it on our Wikipedia page for a long time.
Well, we made it hard to understand. It's a long story, but...
He made it hard.
Okay. So, this song's called Spiderweb. It's one of our favorite songs of all time. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
You know all the chords?
Yes. I
Okay.
listened on the way up.
Excellent. 1, 2, 3.
Punk
I
rock.
was wearing your favorite shirt. It's not your shirt, it's mine. I bought it for you, though. It shows. You had a pretty dress strapped to you. It was deep blue. Looked like a parachute. It's not the way. It never seems to change, and it's not the colors on my face, but something on the inside is feeling the lights that we can see. It's green and it's growing up my sleeve. It's like walking into spider webs. It's like sleeping in your own bed. It's like when you know you have to go home. It's like planning what you're wearing. It's like catching someone staring. It's like the time you said every evil walks in. It's like walking in a spider Wow, something like that. Kyle, he put out multiple versions of that song with different lyrics. Do you remember that song?
I realized, like, I didn't think about it beforehand, but when I was like 13 or 14 or so, probably like 14 years old, I first started playing my first shows by myself at this venue that was down the street from my house.
What's it called?
It was
Sound
called
Lab.
the Sound Lab. We've talked about this on the show before.
Oh,
I
okay.
think
I don't
it's
know.
like the worst place. But I didn't know Kyle very well. I just knew him like through friends of friends. So I messaged him on MySpace because I was in love with this song, but it was the first version of this song that he recorded, and it was very slow and acoustic. and I messaged him if it was okay for me to like cover this song.
we never
I was like,
messaged him.
I was like 14. I was like, can I like cover this song if I like, you know, like play a show at this venue or whatever, and like playing in front of like 3 people? And he's like, yeah, but you have to credit me.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
We were
Hey,
like
respect.
teenagers. It was great.
Yeah.
I remember.
There were different lyrics. I feel like
Yeah,
I kind
there
of
was-
mishmashed the 2 versions
Every
there.
version
I got
had different ones.
confused.
I always forget.
Yeah.
It makes it a treat when you listen back.
It's a treat when you hear all the different versions because they all have slightly different words. It's kind of fun. What were you gonna say?
I just remember, like my first band had a show at the Sound Lab, and at like the day of, dude canceled the show because
Wow.
I think he didn't pay the electric bill.
Oh my god.
And there was a touring band on the show, like a band from Connecticut, and like,
That sucks.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude, this
so-
guy was and he'd like show up to the show in like a Lamborghini and
Oh,
like
yeah,
a
he's
fucking
the
sick,
worst.
or not Lamb, but like, you know, like a sick
Like
ass
a nice car, yeah.
not gonna
And-
shout out
Sucks.
his name, but
Yeah, and he'd give people like,
I'm pretty sure he
no
stole my
money.
pedals.
yeah, it was bad. One time we played a show and he was like, we like brought so many people to the show. We were like little kids, you know, like so we
Right.
all our friends came to the show and everything.
And that's like a $10
And-
ticket.
And so he was like, "Oh, instead of like the payout, I recorded your set and burned it to a CD." And it was like a shitty recording off of like his computer mic or it was like
It was
the
not good.
worst. And he was like, "So like I just, you know, like balanced out the cost." He like just did some like math shit to like us as kids. It was so bad.
That's so
Ugh,
nuts.
It was rough.
People like that exist.
At the
Yes.
same time, that was
And we
like
just fell
how
for
we
everything.
got into music.
Yeah, it's like bittersweet to look
You
back
live, you
on
learn.
that.
Yeah.
But it's a nice segue into the next segment.
Oh yes. it
Yeah,
is,
okay, so
yeah.
we are bringing back the segment Tourror Stories.
Oh, scary noises. I forgot.
Scary noises, yeah. I don't know if you guys remember this segment. We did it once before. I don't know where we were. But, are these your tour noises?
Wow.
Scary? Don't get too scary. Dobby's gonna
Oh, he's
lose it.
shaking. He's freaking
Oh,
out. Don't be scared.
Yeah, so, again, this segment's in honor of the series that used to happen at Quenchers. Sam Edgen, great promoter, great guy here in Chicago, would put this series on and have people come up and talk about weird shit that happened to them on tour. so, I got a story for you today. Gather around. Come in closer.
Host by the fire.
Yes.
I wish you had like a flashlight so you could do like the.
Yeah,
campfire
that'd be cool.
flashlight.
Yeah, maybe on next season we could find ways to adjust the lighting on the fly. That might be a disaster, but it could be fun. Okay, so today I wanted to tell you guys the infamous story.
Did you put pics in?
No, we are
Okay.
not going to dox these people. We're not going to show their face on the internet.
You can't even see the face. You can only see the staff.
What is the story?
Okay, guys.
This is like
This is the most
nothing this bad.
This
has
is probably
happened.
the most ridiculous night
One
on
of the
tour
most-
that
yeah.
we've ever had. Let me tell you. So,
Okay. Was I here?
no,
Okay,
thank God,
okay.
Swain. You
So
would have
it's-
quit the band.
5 years ago?
This
or
was
something?
2015, November.
3.5.
Let's set the scene. This tour is one that I booked. I can't say entirely myself. We were working with another person. It was kind of an acrimonious thing in the end. They weren't really doing a great job. We weren't psyched. We don't need to talk about that. But so anyways, it was a DIY tour and we were out on the road. We were heading out to the West Coast for the first time in 2015. We had never been out west.
A lot of these shows on this tour were like kind of cobbled together.
At the
either
last minute
or-
because again my friend who was helping me kind of at the last minute was like, oh, actually we need to find shows in these places like 2 weeks before.
Drop the ball.
Yeah, and so like 2 weeks before we needed a show in Utah on the way out to the West Coast, and we had never played in Utah before, and so I went to DoDIY.org, which was RIP, a great website and resource for musicians to connect with each other and book shows across the country. We'd had some pretty good shows through Do DIY before, and so I was confident
Yeah, I think
using it.
Yeah.
But
It's like every city had a couple of places that were posted on.
yeah, it was like a classifieds basically, or like a bulletin board, community.
Bulletin board. Yeah, that's a good.
Anyway.
BDS.
So I go on the Utah DoDIY.org and I find a listing for a radio show that we could come play. That was kind of the last, like, we didn't have any other options. And so we were like,
I
yeah,
think that was
sure.
the only option for Provo, Utah.
And Salt Lake City. It was just like, I hit up a bunch of people. Either no one could do it, no one was responding. And so I was like, this was the one person who responded and who could do it. And so I was like, fuck yeah, we'll play some person's radio show. That's like a cool thing to do. Even if we don't get paid, it's like we get to play, we get a place to sleep, whatever. And so we are rolling into town, and I messaged our contact and asked him, like, hey, we had talked on the phone just to verify, like, the plan. Texted him just to ask, what's the radio call number? He gives it to me. We're like, oh, let's listen to the radio, like, as we're rolling in, see what the station's, playing right now. And the first song we hear was, like, an incredibly, like, vulgar death metal song. It was like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, it was like a hip-hop song. But, like,
Was it?
Yeah.
There was a lot of cussing. And
yeah,
we were
you could
immediately
hear,
like...
Lots of F-bombs on the radio.
We were immediately like, okay, this radio station is not your typical place. And so, red flag. That was the first red flag. We roll up to the address, and it's not like a commercial building or a business.
We're going to pull up to, like, a concrete, like, studio building, right?
It's someone's house. And the person... Again, I'm not trying to be an asshole, but these are just the details. These are the memories I have. And our contact was like, hey, when you guys roll up, Tweeft will be out there to greet you. And I was like, oh, that must have been a typo. Tweeft. I've never heard a name like that. And sure enough, when we roll up to the house, a woman comes out and is like, hey, I'm Tweeft. That was her name. What a sweet name. And she was like, here, I'll help you in. And then we go into this house, and it's just like a person's house. There was stuff everywhere. I'm not trying to rag on anyone's lifestyle. You do you. It was just like, there was stuff everywhere. It was kind of like borderline hoarder. It was fine. We could deal with this. It was fine. And so we go down to the basement, we load all our stuff in, and we're totally playing these dudes' pirate radio show in their basement in Provo, Utah.
The guy like Mike is like, all right, well, mic up the amps. And he threw just like one microphone in the center of the room. It's like, all right, good to go.
Yeah.
Like,
so
we have a drum set.
this pirate radio show was hosted by two guys, Judas and the Wizard. And the Wizard was wearing like a dope top hat, and he had seriously like a 6-foot high, intricately carved wooden staff that he like carried around with him. These people were really nice. I want to emphasize this. Like, they were incredibly welcoming. It was just the strangest, most surreal situation we've been in. So we played our music. They were like, yeah, you can cuss on the radio. It's fine. I was like, okay, this is great. We had our interview, played a few songs on the radio. And then after we were done, Judas, who we found out his real name was Glenn, so we called him Glendus. He invited us to come sleep with him, like, not sleep with him, but sleep at his house, which was very nice of him. And so we all went back to Glendus's house, and this man had a huge, like, python, like boa constrictor snake.
It was a nice place to shack up for the night, but there was a bottle of Kharkov vodka on the counter, and a huge python in the front room. And then he's like, oh, okay, I'm gonna cook up some pottage for everyone. Like, what the heck is
This was nice. I'm not trying to be
great.
mean.
I had my fill.
Pottage, that's where we learned that. But anyway,
Pottage,
so
it's like a peasant stew.
it was
With everything.
good. Yeah,
Everything
just
in the
pour
pottage.
everything in there.
Put everything in the pottage.
Mm-hmm.
It
And
was
so then
Not
you
vegan.
guys started to play with his python and wrap it around your shoulders and like
Oh,
smoke bongs. And
the snake got really chill.
my brain was taxed. I was maxed out
There's also 2 other people crashing with us that night because
in a different band.
they were in the same predicament as us.
Yeah.
Like, you need something to do in Utah.
But anyways, so then I slept in the van while you guys played with the python and stayed up all night.
Yeah,
So-
we stayed up late.
That's what happens when you go on DoDIY.org and try to find a show in Utah. I want to say Provo, Utah is like one of the most conservative places in the country. It's like 99% Mormon, even more than Salt Lake City. It's where BYU is, the college. And so it's funny because we somehow managed to find the 1% on the other end of the spectrum, so far away from your conservative Mormons. We found the people in Provo who are like anarchists.
They could have been
and
anarchist Satanists.
yeah, but I mean, they were incredibly nice and welcoming,
Satanists are pretty nice.
and we were safe, and it was honestly could have been so much worse. It was just memorable. I will never forget it, ever.
I love it. It was scary in the way that a new thing is scary. Scary, unexpected. Like,
Yeah,
you're
I mean,
facing
looking back
something
now,
head-on.
yeah, we're just like in a stranger's house and
But it wasn't.
with their snake, but
I guess if you're frightened of snakes, that could be a horror story. But
yeah.
Oh gosh, what a night.
We could pretty much.
People are now contesting. This sounds like a great night.
It was fun. It was. I'm not saying it was like.
Well, this did spawn a new game in the chat though,
What?
where we're trying to make a wizard staff by stacking emojis, and so far our current record is 2. So you do one
That's
emoji,
sick.
and then you follow it up with 2
It's like a
and 3,
minigame.
so on.
Cool.
We've only gotten to 2 so far before someone interrupts the chain.
I have a picture on my phone of the wizard with his staff. It is like one of the most badass.
I like to
pictures I've
just
ever seen.
imagine what he looks like.
Huge
It's
beard,
great.
super long hair, top hat, huge ass, like thick
Huge
wizard
ass.
staff. Huge. No. Yeah, just had a really huge staff. It was awesome.
Oh yeah.
But I will
with
say,
a huge
like-
bulb on the top.
The reason that it was kind of a Tourror story in my mind is because I thought we were playing a professional radio show. Like, and we rolled up.
That sounds more like it was your fault.
It totally, dude. Looking back, like,
Oh, new record 3 in the
okay,
chat.
keep it going, keep them coming.
Oh.
I don't know. DIY touring, you put so much faith in the people that you're talking to. Like, you're booking shows with people you've never met most of the time. Maybe, hopefully, you have a mutual friend or something. But many times we would just be booking shows with strangers.
Yeah, it's
and usually, like,
That's how we met a lot of friends.
met a
like,
ton
in
of
the
friends that
beginning,
way.
yeah.
Most of the time, pretty much every time, we've never had like violence or
Or
we've never really felt that unsafe. It was just
And no one has really been like dicks to us.
No.
Do that.
it's just yeah, the kind of the matter of not knowing what you're getting yourself into a little bit. Now it's different when we play shows. It's usually places we've played before or like places that you could Google and see what it looks like, or you're talking to someone.
Well, the first Tourror story we ever told was that show we didn't even like know we were supposed to get paid at the end of the show.
There's
And we have come a long way.
There is a question
Yeah.
that I do want to ask. This is for Dave.
Yes.
Have you guys ever seen the movie Green Room?
No, I want to.
This is a point
It's
of
been
contention.
saved on the Netflix account at our house.
Yeah, I want to watch
For
it, but I
so
want to
long.
watch it with Julia because I like watching Julia watch scary movies.
I don't like scary movies, especially don't like scary movies about my passion and my profession. But I've never seen it, so maybe I should give it a chance.
You never seen it?
No, I'm afraid.
So, chat, is it worth it?
Let us know what
what's
you
your-
think.
A lot of
what's your
people are
Ebert
saying it's
rating?
very good.
Okay.
And then someone asked, ever played in Omaha? Which makes me very scared to go back to Omaha. Is
Yeah.
that where this movie is set?
Oh, no, I don't know.
No. I don't
We've
think
played in
so.
Omaha. We've played in Omaha a few
Yeah.
times.
It's great.
Milk Run,
We
R.I.P.
played probably the hottest show we've ever played.
Oh, in that like hole in the ground.
It was in
Yeah,
like
skate park.
the Milk Run, the
crazy.
final iteration of Milk Run, which was like a really cool, just I don't know, show space, like DIY show space in Omaha. But
And a skate park.
the final iteration was like, yeah, like underground, in like a huge warehouse, but underground.
Yeah, it was like
there were half
warehouse
pipes.
/ bunker.
It was extremely dark and extremely hot because
Yeah.
it was July.
There was no ventilation.
Namdi played that show with us, and I think
Yeah.
he regretted every life choice he made.
And it was like not even any colder outside than it was
So
inside.
hot.
It
Yeah,
was
that was
wild.
really. I like Omaha though. We had
Yeah.
really
I
good
do
wings
like
in
Omaha.
Omaha last
Yeah.
time.
Omaha's blowing up, I think.
It's been blowing up, man. It's a cool place. Anyways, that was Tourror Stories. If you guys have any more questions, let them fly. But thank you for letting me tell that story. Honestly, pretty much every show on that tour has a story like that. Each night was kind of a disaster.
So this
Truly,
will be a very
like,
long-running segment.
Well, yeah, we could bring it back in a few weeks. I won't trouble you with more of our poor planning and bad stories, but look back now with fondness. I don't know. I feel like
Don't look back in anger.
I don't look back in anger. Okay, we are gonna segue into the most important segment on this show, one that has a real place in our hearts. Hopefully yours too. Do you want to introduce it?
This is Weed Sprout Update.
All right, go get your boy.
Wow. Little
Let's
Dave!
get our special guest.
Go get your little
Little
boy.
Dave's in the house.
Bring him in here. Go get him.
LD.
We got LD
LD.
coming up here, and let me tell you, little LD is getting a little bit tall.
Smells leafy.
All right.
Please welcome our special guest, the invisible plant.
It looks so weird.
Right?
It looks alright. You can see how tall it is.
Okay, few developments. Little Dave is almost, I think this is adolescent Dave.
Mm-hmm.
So where I am in the process, y'all, I have decorated the pot. You see, there's a few lava rocks.
Yeah.
And I got
A polywhirl?
Polywhirl in there. And you see, I also got 2 bottle rockets standing up here. And they're multi-purpose.
Why do you have
Multi-purpose.
bottle rockets?
Because it's training time for Little Dave.
What, are you sending him out to space?
No, he's staying right here on the ground with us. Whoops. But so you're supposed to like train them so they don't grow like all the way up like a Christmas tree. So you like bend it in strategic places. So that's why I put the bottle rockets here. Bottle rockets and twist ties to like hold it, loop around, and make it grow the way I want. But it smells good. So many more developments.
Here, I'll hold him. I'll hold him.
So Little Dave is the shining light of quarantine.
Wow.
But we decided that he needs a sibling. So
A little sister.
about a week ago I planted the little seed. And we got Little J
Little
right
J.
here. Everybody say hello to Little J.
Hello, little J.
Wow.
I want to point out, this is what little Dave looked like at the beginning, okay? Look at this growth. This is stupendous.
That is crazy.
Stupendous. This is what we're doing in our quarantine.
Funny thing, I keep the plants outside when it's sunny because it's, getting the best light. But it was really windy yesterday. So I came outside and found Little J tipped over on the ground, just like
Help me.
completely fucked up.
Yeah.
So I had to like gingerly put the sprout back in and pack it in.
Does Lil
good
Dave
now.
does Lil
I
Dave
hope.
have a favorite record?
Little Dave's favorite record.
What does he grow to?
My jamming.
Wow.
I like to practice.
Dave lulls him to sleep.
I ask Little Dave, what do you think of these chordal variations? And then I listen for feedback because I love constructive criticism. But his favorite record is probably The Night Fly by Donald Fagen. Check it out. It's a good one. Smell it.
Smells good.
These plants kind of like a similar scent to tomato plants sometimes. That kind of... It's like dank, but in a different
Earthy.
way. It's like very green and spicy.
Mm.
But
Love it. What's your plan
I think I'm getting the green thumb.
What's your plan for the future?
Nurture.
Nurture.
Nurture your future.
Nurture your nature.
Is Lil
Nurture
Dave
nature and your future.
Is Lil Dave a fan of Steely Dan?
Yes.
Wow. I just wanted to confirm that for the chat.
I mean, little Dave just copies everything I do, so of course he's a fan of Steely Dan.
Wow.
Lil Dave will be shredding on his own soon.
Come back to you. Back. Come back to you. Back. Movies. I got a really funny video I'll drop in the chat later. I think that has been Weed Sprout update.
Cool.
You know, everything's good. Lil Dave's got a few spots, and like those lower leaves are dying, but I think all the other leaves are fine. So.
People are a little worried that y'all are gonna become botanists and give up playing music.
I mean,
We can do both.
depending on how this COVID thing works. Who knows?
We're definitely not giving up music. I
Love.
promise.
I don't know.
Every time I talk to
That's
my
a
dad
big
on the
Lil
phone.
Dave.
No, Lil Dave can come on with us on the road.
I think
We'll strap him in.
that's a good idea.
Every time I
The
talk to
wind
my
is
dad
good.
on the phone, he's just like, "Don't give up." He's like, "So many people are gonna give up because of this. Do not give up." I'm like, "I'm not dead."
That's
got
really
it.
nice.
It
That's a
is
good
nice.
message for everyone
It's a
out
great
there.
message for everyone. We
Don't
gotta keep
give up.
going. Don't give up. Look at this. This is what happens when you put enough time and love
Yes.
into what you're doing,
All
into
the love.
yourself. You'll grow from little J to little Dave.
The world's first 2 invisible plants.
Yes, I love it. Do you want to hear? I'll take these plants. We didn't do a special time with Dave segment, but I wanted to know if you wanted to update people on your petal.
Sure. I have just been working on random tinkering projects.
Mm-hmm. You tired?
I had so much coffee today, and it's like wearing down.
That's fine.
All
right, show people your pedal.
See this? This is supposed to be a chorus pedal. But I put it all together, soldered it part by part. And it's not working, so I kind of have to cross-reference some electronic values and find out where I went wrong, but I don't know where I went wrong yet. But it's been a fun journey. I love tinkering. I actually brought back my buddy's amp that I've been holding on to for like 5 years. And I finally got the stuff to fix that. But you win some, you lose some. And like you said, don't give up.
Don't give up. So
Never give up.
hopefully next season.
Next season, you'll get some lush tones with this. It's a Boss pedal clone. It's like
I
a
think we
chorus.
should say though that you drilled the holes and you painted this. I think it looks really nice.
Yeah, it looks really
It's
great.
cool, yeah.
It's gonna work eventually, but right now it doesn't work.
I think I have high hopes.
Love it. Okay, it's almost been an hour. I think
People-
we're gonna say goodbye.
People are
and-
asking for some time travel in the chat.
Oh, we actually did make that possible today,
Wow.
guys. It's not as extreme as yesterday, but oh yeah, I forgot about this. How could I forget about our
Here's how
technology?
crazy the chat is for this.
Yes.
Quote, I'd be down for some time travel.
I would be down for some time travel. Maybe here, let's
Oh,
Okay,
how
how
about
about this? Everybody who
Can we go, like, 3
doesn't
hours
want
in the
to
future?
time travel,
wow.
raise
Who wants to go 3
all right, guys,
hours
we're going 3 hours in the future. This is what we
in
want.
the future?
Who doesn't want that?
In
Yes, please.
3,
2.
2, 1. Whoa!
It's dusk. It's dusk at the Bahá'í
How
Temple
long have we been
in
here?
Wilmette. Wow.
The
Long show, everybody.
the
God.
gardens in the Baha'i temple are really nice. You could actually spend a whole day there.
You missed my whole spiel about the Bahá'í Temple. It's the most
I
beautiful.
got here right in time.
It's gorgeous. It's a really nice place to be. And it's dusk. I love the Bahá'í Temple at dusk. What a show.
Wow.
We've made it through the whole sunset.
Who would have thought?
Ugh.
We get the power of time travel. We're just gonna go 3
Yeah.
hours in the future.
Yeah, we're just gonna do it willy-nilly.
We just don't want to be sitting here for
It's
3
like
hours.
a trial run,
When you start
I
getting
think
good,
yesterday we went a little too far.
yeah. When you start getting good at
the
time
Chrome,
travel,
Chrome
you
Rome broke us.
yeah, exactly. When you get good at time travel, you just want to do it all the time. It's like an addicting thing.
Yeah.
So
You don't
it's
time
fun.
travel in Animal Crossing, though, right?
You gotta be
don't.
careful. You gotta look both ways before you cross the clock.
Exactly. Strap in.
Everyone knows that.
But anyways, I wanted to say a couple things before we depart. Virtual tour shirts. I promise you guys these exist. I don't want anyone to think that we like took your money and ran with it. We've been in communication with the people who print them in Austin, but I recently found out that the 2 people I've been talking to aren't actually there at the plant. They've been giving me like telephoned info, and so for all I know, they could have already shipped out. But I am like deeply on this, trying to figure out why they haven't shipped yet. So thank you for your patience. I promise you they're coming soon.
Julia?
Some people are kind of throwing out some conspiracy theories
Go
that
for it. Go
there's
for
no
it.
t-shirts. There's no t-shirts. You've been using all the money on botany school tuition.
Yeah. Honestly, huge
that
hydro
holds
setup.
up. Yeah.
Some
no.
calls to riot are
We
flying
have
around
none
the
of
chat.
the money. It is not in our possession at all, actually.
You have like
and
3 big-ass grow lights.
Fun fact, I ordered 4 of the shirts for us.
What?
Did you?
And yeah, and I really want to see what they look
Uniforms.
like. So I'm just as eager as you guys to get these shirts. The way it works is that they get printed and shipped from the same facility. So
It's like Netflix, but for t-shirts.
yeah, kind of. So like if we
What?
On demand.
yeah.
On demand.
Okay.
It'd be one thing if the shirts got printed and shipped to us and then we shipped them out, but that's not how it works. So we're really eager to see the shirts too. I apologize that it's taking a while. Shit's really weird right now. I think their facility is just very understaffed, but they do exist and they will be shipped out as soon as possible.
Yes.
I just know that I am on the case, and I promise you that you'll get them soon.
Also, if anybody picked up merch from like us from our Instagram, we shipped out all the international stuff.
Oh yeah, FedEx
This week.
finally let us ship internationally. That was
I
really
don't know
awesome.
if they let us, but they're just like, okay.
Well, they took it and we paid for it. So
And we have tracking.
international orders are out except for Japan. Japan was an issue, so we had one person. We'll talk to you separately. But all the merch that I mail, like our tour stuff, it gets sent out weekly, and so I have been getting some messages about. I think it's just taking longer than it usually would. It says 2 to 5 days, but it's taken like weeks for stuff to get to people. So I think it's just the USPS is really swamped right now.
Yeah.
Love USPS.
Anyways, love USPS. Please continue to support bands and businesses you love by ordering through USPS because they really need to be supported by everyone. Anyways, we're going to be back in 2 weeks. We're going to do our regular 2 weeks on, 1 week off thing. So next weekend, we will be spending all of our time planning for the future. Really quick, one thing we have talked about, which I just kind of want to gauge some interest here. We've talked about doing kind of a spin-off of this show, still through our Twitch, but doing some video game streaming, which is kind of what Twitch was made for and why it exists. I think I want to stream Animal Crossing for real. If anyone wants to see my island or just, I don't know, follow along, we're going to have the technology soon. I used some of my government money to get a capture card. So, El Gato. So that'll be here soon. And I think I'm going to try to stream Animal Crossing. If you're at all interested in that, I don't know, let me know. Even if not, I'm probably going to do it.
There's interest. The chat is speaking up.
Okay, cool.
They're asking for, they're also asking on top of this for GTA and Guitar Hero, which I think Dave can handle.
Those are
both
both
of
great
those.
ideas.
Hero, yeah.
I cannot do either of them.
The other 2 ideas we had were...
Rocket League. Indie Rocket League.
I was going to save that one for last because that one's really cool. But Sean and Dave both play Rocket League with a bunch of friends, including a bunch of friends who play in bands. So we thought it'd be cool to like do a tournament or just a series of matches where yeah, sure, where like teams are made up of different musicians or like
Make it interesting.
I don't know, different bands. So, and to like make a graphic for it and like advertise it like a regular old esports match. I think that'd be really fun.
Except we don't have that sort of production money, but that's okay.
What do you mean? You could just make a flyer. It'll look really cool.
Esports are like... Esports
No, I
has
know,
money.
but it would look really cool. I think we could make it look really
We can make it happen.
What was your other idea?
cool. Skyrim.
Yeah, I haven't played Skyrim in like 2 weeks, but The thing is, I would have to start a new character so that like the audience can
Help you choose how it develops.
develop this character along with me, and it'll take on a life of its own. I think that's kind of the fun part about Let's Plays and Twitch and stuff.
Well, if you can imagine...
And video games in general.
If you can imagine the Time with Dave segment, but longer, and Skyrim, that's what it would be like.
Yeah.
I feel like you don't get to talk on stage. People don't really get how fun you are to hang out with.
Good.
How much fun it is to enter your brain.
I don't want them in there.
So that's what that will be, Skyrim.
There's some people calling for a gambling ring
That sounds great.
already. It took less than 5 minutes
we
for
could, like-
gambling
I
to
think there's a way
infect
to-
into the
There's a
chat.
way to set up like the OBS bot to play like dice in the chat. If you
Yeah,
want to do
that's
that.
real, actually.
That could be
That's
your
so
project.
funny.
Sean.
That would be really fun. Yeah, we'll find a way to incorporate gambling into all of
Yes.
this. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Um,
Priorities will be handled.
yes.
We were watching Stefan from Pup do a live stream.
Oh yeah, he was
That's
playing
right.
like a hockey game.
Yeah, do you know
That was
Blood
really
hockey,
cool.
I think.
What's
Huh?
it called?
Blood hockey, I think it's
Blood-
called.
Oh, cool.
It's like
Not sure,
retro
though.
style.
Yeah.
But that was really fun. You could ask me whatever you want while I'm playing Skyrim, but I'll
Wow.
be distracted by magic.
So the good news is that'll be like a separate thing from this show. We're also tossing around the idea of starting a Patreon, like many bands in our same position. Seems like it could be something like a cool way to get, I don't know, extra content out to people and connect in another way. I
Y'all
don't
like content, right?
Yeah, I'm not totally sure what that would entail. We really need to give that some thought because I would want it to be really like curated and special. But that's just something we're thinking about too. It's not something that
An album of just
Yeah.
this. That's our first offering.
It's not something I ever
That's our
really
tier one.
planned on doing, to be honest. Just because we are so lucky that we get to tour and that kind of, that's our life. But not now. We don't get to tour right now. So I don't know, maybe now's the time. Who knows? But I brought that up to say I don't think these shows will be like under that Patreon paywall. Probably not. I feel like that would be weird. I don't know.
I mean, I think that's all up to you.
We'll figure that out.
We'll keep these
Well,
there
it's-
for you.
If
It's
you have
all
suggestions,
swirling in our brain. But yeah,
please email us on how to be
Yeah, we want-
professional on the internet.
Yeah, we're very new to this, and so we would love some feedback in the chat. Just because we don't know what we're doing.
yeah. It might look like we know what we're doing.
Yeah, clearly.
I mean, we time traveled, but
Yeah, and Dobby's
we
here.
need just as much help as everyone else. Like,
Whoa, we time traveled again. Just on
yeah.
the whim of it.
it's no
we
big
don't
deal,
care.
but we need help. We need some constructive criticism and some emojis. Those fuel us.
Mm-hmm.
We need any ideas that you guys have of stuff that you'd like to like see from us. I know you're already seeing us right now, and a lot
Seeing
of
a
us.
lot of
But this is what we got to offer. But there's more, like, we haven't shown you our basement. There's like cool stuff down there. I don't know. Maybe,
See your
You're
face.
not making anyone pay to see our basement.
Yeah.
I'll show you around our basement for $5
Oh, look at that.
a month.
We got donkey rides.
Clearly,
in the
okay, so
basement
clearly we need to
for
think
four.
this through. We'll come up with some good ideas
Yes.
next week when we're off.
This is like the little seed of an idea, much like Little Dream.
Yes,
I
and
just
it'll
wanted
grow
to
like
speak
Lil
it into
Dave grew.
existence, perhaps, and just get it on anyone's mind, because I don't know if this is something people would be interested in. I truly don't know. It's totally new territory for us.
Hey,
So,
email us, talk to ratboys@gmail, and
Mm-hmm.
tell us what you.
anyways, okay, thank you guys so much for tuning in. This weekend has been really fun, and we're excited to come back in 2 weekends better than ever with more technology than you could ever imagine. So, be good to each other. I hope you're doing okay, and
And don't forget about the tossed salads and scrambled eggs.
yes.